Yo, 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 good money bag morning, evening, night, whatever time zone you're in. Today, we're going to be doing a money bag rant specifically around AI because you can't get on social media without hearing about Claudebot, Claude Code, Claude Cowork, ChatGPT, or anything else like that without being bombarded with absolute FOMO. I myself have looked into all this and even had my team look into all these types of things to see like what is actually useful to what we're actively working on. And at the end of today's call, outside of I'm going to reveal something in this magical box, we're also you're going to walk away feeling much more calm, much more chill when it comes to the future of finance, the future of AI, and more importantly, how it actually affects you. Because at the end of the day, that's really the only thing that matters. Now, for context, let's just go ahead and talk about this publicly. When it comes to the future of society, when it comes to the future of finance, do I see AI playing a very big role? The answer is yes, I do. I do see AI more and more being brought into the mix of governments, security systems, finances, banking, and all of that. I actually saw if I remember the name of the person, I'd pull it up right now, but he presented this idea. This is over on X. He presented this idea that what if we were all lab rats? Let me actually look this up now. Crypto AI. What if we were all lab rats for AI? What is this? Man, this would be so good. Oh man, if I could find it. Crypto AI agent. Let's see. To summarize it, what if all of us were just lab rats, a test run to get crypto set up, to get the basics of AI stuff set up, to where the biggest problem up until now when it comes to various functions of AI is that, well, example with banking, to connect AI with the banking system, a lot of the time you have to have identification. You have to have all these different things to validate who you are. Otherwise, you can't set up a banking system or a bank account or anything like that. Versus with crypto, what can you do? In most cases, you don't need any kind of ID. And so the person presented this idea, and if I find it, I'll play it on another call here in a bit. But actually, let me text somebody right now. If they're even online. Tweet about crypto AI. The idea presented was that the future of society is going to be a mixture of digital currency, like you've seen a lot of the so-called elites talking about tokenization and all of that. There's a lot of fear mongering around it, but there's also a lot of fear mongering around AI as well. But to have a proper unified banking system that leverages AI and it's a global system. Second. And it's like a global system. You have to have a banking system set up in a way to where people don't need to have identification or AI doesn't have to have identification to be able to move money. So maybe that's where Bitcoin comes in. There's limitations to that. Maybe that's where all these some other crypto coins come in. Maybe governments will set up their own banking system. Who cares? Doesn't apply to us right now. So that was just a theory, but it did get me thinking. I was like, you know what? That actually logically makes sense. Because how else could you get the entire global financial system to get unified and basically just unified on the blockchain and leveraging all these AI systems? And I've even joked before, like I had to send a transfer of $30,000. And this is like a year or two ago. I had to send a transfer And it said it was going to take about 5 business days for the transfer to hit. And I jokingly said, I was like, I could just use crypto and it's like instantly, it's going to hit in like 20, 30 minutes. And the bank teller on the end of the phone was like, yeah, I know what you mean, but no comment. So it makes sense. But it's always about your number one perception of things, but how you position yourself. Because on one end, you can be fearful and you can hold on to how the world is now and like literally be terrified. Like I've spoken to quite a few people who are absolutely terrified about the future of finance, the future of where AI is going, crypto's going, and all of that. And that's cool. If that's if you want to live in a reality where you're fearful all the time, by all means do that. Versus, I like to be more of an optimist from the standpoint of what can I actively do myself to position myself and the people that I care about to where we can directly benefit from where the world's going, but also it doesn't really affect us. And so the point that we're making or leading us towards is understanding that we are at the forefront of what's happening with AI. And there's a lot of, it's basically like the fog of war. There you can hear screaming over here, you can hear like just terrified screaming, you can hear people shouting victory, you can hear nothing. So we're in the fog of war right now. And so the best thing that you could do is find ways to leverage AI and educate yourself on it enough to where it's beneficial to you. And so, as an example, this Clawbot, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, with the Clawbot, the idea itself is very interesting. Imagine you set up an AI assistant that you can text via Telegram. You can just text it and have it do things. It can book restaurants for you, so get reservations. It can check into flights for you. It can clear your inbox. It can create content. It can do all these really cool things. Like on paper, that sounds awesome. Like, I'm just going to set up an AI assistant, not have to pay somebody, and then it can do all these things for me. By the way, stick around until the end because this is going to blow your mind. I think all of you are going to get a kick out of it. So it sounds awesome. Anyways, I had somebody on the team educate themselves on it, set it up. And what they found, and for context, this whole AI space, it changes every few hours, it seems like. They set it up, it still required a lot of manual input. Now, of course, you could set it up and it can run 24/7, all that type of stuff. And if you are going to set up Clawbot, you want to set it up in a way or locally. So it's on your own machine, all that type of stuff. Now, a lot of people, a lot of the nerds on X were going on and on about how you need to set it up on Mac Mini and all that type of stuff. Sure, you can do that. You can set up on a Mac Mini. That works fine. Or you can just get, like, if you've got an old computer, or you can go get some super cheap computer, set it up. Now, of course, if it's going to need to require a higher processor for what you're going to be using it for, then by all means, yeah, get a nicer computer. But for most intents and purposes, just any old computer, just wipe it and set it up. And you don't want to set this up on your own computer that you're going to be using. And you don't want to give it access to everything because it's literally you're giving it access to whatever device you give it access to. It has access to everything. And how do you think it checks into your emails? Checks into your flights, responds to emails. It has to have access to what, like, actual login information, API access to what you're doing. So there's a lot of things that you should just be a little careful with when it comes to these types of things. They sell this idea of, okay, it's going to be a personal assistant. It's going to do endless work for you. It's going to make you endless amounts of money. You don't need to do anything. You can just play video games and do whatever you want to do, read a book, watch a movie. You can do all, just chill, bro. And this AI assistant's going to do everything for you. And of course, they push that to what I call, and what many people call, the underclass, the people that are just lazy. They're just lazy. They want to find any way they can. It's just something easy. So there's those types of people. And so for the context, so you understand, there's still limitations for technology like this. It's good to give it a month or two to let it really get its like all the issues out of it. Like as example, I think a week or 2 weeks in to Clawbot coming out, this big data breach thing happened. So I'll keep all of you updated. Once I believe Clawbot is at the position or point where all of you can actually benefit from it, I'll talk about it. If not, then I'm not going to talk about it because you have to decouple your mind from this constant need for new dopamine and new ideas. And oh my gosh, I need to be on the cutting edge of AI and the cutting edge of this and cutting edge of that. Like, does that pay your bills? Does that get you clients? Does that improve your life? No. The answer is always no. Now, on the other side, you have a lot of people that treat this whole they treat this whole Clawbot thing basically like they're the next Zuckerberg or they're the next Elon Musk because they set up some AI assistant on a separate computer and now it's checking their emails for them and sends them a nightly brief every single morning. They get a brief that updates them on some content that got posted while they are sleeping. Well, for starters, that's not going to make you Mark Zuckerberg. That's not going to make you Elon Musk. But these AI companies are very smart. They've got billions of dollars of marketing. Some of the smartest people, brightest minds in today's world. So they also market to these like tech savvy, nerdy types of people. Now, I like to be more in the middle. So not too extreme here, not too extreme here, in the middle. Now, when it comes to Clawbot uses that would actually benefit you, Clawbot, you need to identify what are some of the areas in your own business that does not require like loads of personal access to what you're doing. That you can, example, creating content, that could be a use case for it. Helping with research, that could be a use case for it. But do you really need to spend hundreds, if not $1,000, in some cases, $2,000, $3,000? Do you really need to pay that kind of money to have some AI assistant that you still have to text back and forth to be able to come up with content topics for you, write content for you, or check into your hotel or check into your flight? The answer is no. Don't allow the so-called tech matrix monetize either using FOMO, laziness, or shiny objects. Because at the end of the day, as I've already taught all of you inside of the AI integration, you already have everything you need to use AI in a way that's beneficial to you. Like you can literally use the AI integration, integrate it into your business. So it's helping you with outreach, it's helping you with your social media, with your content topics, analyzing accounts, doing all of that type of stuff, and do it manually using AI. Because if you're not careful, you've heard if you don't use it, you lose it. Like think about that time you didn't work out for like a month or two, like hardcore, and you lost your gains. Well, the same is true for your brain. So there are going to be people that set up these Clawbot things, and they have it's not even just this company, it's like across the board. They're going to have AI doing so much of the thinking for them that their brain gets mushy. And so you've got to be careful with this, ladies and gentlemen. So the whole Clawbot thing, let's put that on the shelf. Let's not even worry about it. But this is something I've been seeing a lot of conversations going around on social media, TikTok, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube. And I don't want any of you to get famoosed into it because number one, save your money. Don't spend a grand or two. Obviously, you can get it for the cheap, but don't spend like a grand or so to set something up that basically just helps you check into your hotel, check into your flight, and do things that you can already do. There are some amazing use cases. Don't get me wrong. There are some amazing use cases. But if you look into the people that are doing this, they already have entire teams of people who are setting these things up and are extremely tech savvy. Extremely tech savvy. Like just one guy, I'm not going to name drop him because he's a little sensitive. he was going on and on and on and on about, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And it's talking to me and it's doing all this stuff. I'm like, bro, just go outside, get away from your laptop for a little bit. And on top of this, he dropped like 20, 30 grand on setting all this stuff up. And so the argument that I want to push into your brain is realizing and identifying that things like this are a distraction. Like you can use AI the way I've taught all of you, integrate it into what you're doing, and you're spending like 20 bucks a month. In many cases, you can use the free version of ChatGPT, but like 20 bucks a month. And I know ChatGPT is different priced or whatever prices in different countries. Or if you use Claude, I don't even know how much that is, like $8 a month, all the way up to like $100 a month. And it literally does anything and everything you could possibly need it for. So don't get distracted by anybody that tries to leverage your natural tendency for laziness or your natural tendency for shiny object. And also be careful giving your access to like your email and all these other types of things. Like you understand that if you give AI access to be able to run and manage your emails or have access to your social media or access to your banking. I literally saw some guy that was, oh my God, I gave AI, he gave Cowork. So this is Claude. I gave Cowork access to my banking and I had to do this and this and this. Anyways, his data got leaked. It's like, use your brain. So you don't want to give AI access to things that are have actual data that you don't want to have exposed. Keep that in mind. Now, from there, when it comes to AI, and I super like AI. I use AI all the time, every single day for clients, for content, for my business, etc. My team uses AI. So I'm super pro AI. So stick around once again until the end. I'm going to do a big reveal what's inside of this box. But also, once again, you're going to walk away from today's call feeling motivated and positive for the future. So anyways, you have to understand that most things that you see coming out about AI right now are marketing. They need people to talk about it. They need people to talk about it. And on top of this, especially on social media, you've got to do your own research because there are a lot of AI experts on social media right now that are talking a big game about all these use cases, and they're doing all these podcasts and all these interviews and putting together all these things. And the reality is they're getting paid both directly and indirectly. Directly from there are people right now on X that I will not name drop. I've had this confirmed. It's also on YouTube that are getting paid by AI companies to create authentic content, reviews, and use cases about their product. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But of course, if somebody is going to be paying for you to review something, you're probably going to have pretty much positive reviews about it. Of course. And that's not a bad thing because there's a lot of people out there that are actually showing how to utilize it. And if you watch their videos, it's awesome. Now, the next thing is AI is also a lot of these companies or even just investors that are vested into it that have a vested interest in the value of these companies going up are also pushing this idea, example, fear mongering. AI is going to replace everybody's jobs. Well, sure, like low IQ jobs, or I wouldn't say low IQ, very low skill jobs. Of course, I would like to see the world, even myself, I would like to see the world get to a point where AI is able to do a lot of the very meaningless work so that all of us as a species, as like just the human race, the human species, we can all focus on doing things that actually propel the world forward. Now, that's being a little too positive and optimistic, I believe. But I would like to see a world where like just basic stuff, AI just takes care of it. Or whatever AI, whatever that becomes. But the thing you need to understand is like what we're going through and experiencing right now is what our parents experienced with the internet. There are a lot of people that were saying the internet's basically a fad. It's going to come and go. There are people saying the internet's basically evil incarnate entering this world. There's all these different things. Well, guess what? I'm using the internet right now to communicate to you from my HQ to wherever your HQ is. I and you use our phones every single day to what? Create content, to find clients, to make money. So the internet in of itself is not a bad thing. And it's actually highly, highly useful for all of us. Well, the same is going to be true for AI. It's going to become more and more of use to the everyday person. And then there's going to be people like you and I that are making money using AI. So is AI coming for jobs? Sure. Low IQ jobs, low skill jobs, for sure. I actually encourage that. But for a vast majority of people that are medium skill to high skill, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is, and this is the money bag POV on AI, it's going to help increase productivity, which is a good thing, meaning you're going to get more stuff done in less time. So it's going to require less energy from you to get more of an output, which is going to lead you to making more money. Like I could sit down right now, and I've showed all of you how to do this inside of AI integration. I can sit down right now and create a week or two worth of content in 15 to 30 minutes. And it's good content. Obviously, I could spend longer, and it would probably be even better, but I would rather spend 15 to 30 minutes of my time, guaranteed content going out every single day. So social media is bringing new leads in, reaching more people. And then I've got all this free time that I can spend talking to all of you. Got all this free time I can go spend with family, or I can spend on other money-making activities. And so that's truly what AI's superpower is for all of us that are in the know, is it increases our productivity. So it is not something to be fearful of, and it is definitely not something to get FOMO about. There is no reason for you to be on the cutting edge of every aspect of AI and what's happening at every single second of the day. That will keep you distracted. The only thing you need to care about is, how does this specific AI tool benefit me and what I'm doing? And the reality is, I mean, using ChatGPT or Claude pretty much covers all of your bases. Pretty much covers all your bases. In other news, I fired a web designer. I would show you the website, but I don't want to give away the domain. I created a very, very good website, and I did it in like 20 minutes. You know what? Maybe I'll show you. I'll show you. I don't care. Let me go back to not the exact domain. Who wants to see the website? Let me know in the chat. Fantastic. Okay. So let me share my screen. So I'm going to launch an events business here in Georgia. Nothing super like urgent right now, but this is just something fun because I already do it. May as well turn it into a business. I used Claude code, and it built this entire website. All I provided it with was I sat there from my phone. It's like, I want to design a website that positions me as this, blah, 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 blah. I told the whole story, put together everything I wanted it to be like and what I wanted it to say, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it created this. I traveled to 27 countries, lived in 3, built businesses, made money online, told 75,000 plus people, blah, 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 blah. Kept going on and on. What I do, host Supras, bridge two worlds, build real connections. What people say, I had it bring together some testimonials, join the table. This needs some work, but once again, I literally made this website. I need you to understand this, everybody. I literally made this website in Like, I don't, maybe an hour total. Now, me myself, if I had to make this website on my own, it would have been like 2 out of 10 design wise. It would have taken me probably 15 hours. Anyways, this web designer quoted me, and it was a local guy, quoted me, what was it, $2,500. I was like, $2,500, how long is that going to take? And he told me it would take at least a week to get the first phase of it done. And I was like, you know what, screw that. I'm just going to mess around with Claude. So anyways, I put this together. Got this. Got that. This is the SM part of the social media team here in this campus. And then watch, click this. Ooh, it goes down. Yeah. So got all that. So anyways, I used Claude Code to design all that. Big buddy Rick, shout out to you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So the point that I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, is you need to think, how does this AI tool help me in my business? Because that's the only thing that genuinely matters. Do you really need an AI that's going to sit there and create like a task list thing for you, or that you can talk to like a therapist? Do you really need that? The answer is no, you don't. Do you need some AI tool that's some fancy smancy? I don't even know. Like, no, you don't. Look at AI. This is the money bag POV. I'm never going to sit up here telling all of you, constantly hyping you up about all these latest AI tools. Oh my God. I'm only going to tell you, this is an AI tool that's actually beneficial to what you're actually doing. And here's how to use it. That's the only thing I'll ever tell you. Because the only thing you need to think about is, how can I increase my productivity? Right now, this has been the new, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm very intentional and I'm all about maximizing my time. But over the since mid-January, I've really been obsessed with how can I cut down actual work and increase the output. I've been obsessed with it. And not by just hiring more people. Like, I could literally today, well, actually it's going 8:54. By tomorrow, I can have a brand new office set up, put brand new people in there. I can have a full office, tons of people, if I really wanted to, like that. But number one, that's going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And then there's the training. So something I've kind of been obsessed with lately is, how can I leverage AI more and integrate it into what I'm already doing and increase my output? And that's what I'm going to include in the boot camp that I'm going to be giving all of you here soon. Also, I've got my family flying in a couple of days, so I'm going to be still talking to all of you, still posting every single day. Obviously, Moneybag always delivers, but I will be spending time with family. So anyways, AI benefits you. You should not fear it. You do not want to live in a world where you're constantly fearful of what's happening or what might happen. You being here right now is the best way to future-proof your life, regardless of what's going on around the world. I'm here to tell you that right now. Gustavo, 100%, bro. 100% Xander's awesome. So anyways, before we wrap up, I wanted to give all of you a surprise. Now, something about me, I like to consider myself very humble. Number one, I like to consider myself one of the most funny people around. And also, I like to support local businesses. And so we saw something, shout out Captain Colson. We saw something floating around social media. We ordered from this place a 3D printed, not gonna lie, it's good. It could have been better. 3D printed. It's called a bust of my face. It literally looks nothing like it. I would have my sunglasses, all this type of stuff. I could sit up here and critique it, but the thing I like about it is that some young dudes out there leveraging social media, and that's super cool. So anyways, This, I've got a video I'll drop about this. This is going to go on my trophy rack next to all the other trophies we have. But I wanted all of you to share in this moment with me. Now, with that said, let's go react to today's daily checklist, complete it, and have an absolutely amazing day. Drop a money bag in chat once you've seen this, and I'll end the stream.